Honorable members of Parliament, she began, I thank you for giving me audience this day. Something about her presence and demeanor immediately cast a soft cloud of stillness over the room. There was a time when I encouraged the celebration of Christmas. Times were dark, the war was at hand, and I thought it would bring people joy and unite them. But laws were passed to force one group's interpretation of and how to practice religion on the other. Contention ensued over the right to rule to the point of war. We had forgotten that every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself does not stand. Was not this prophecy of desolation brought to pass in our great civil wars and all the wars of our world's history? Has not history shown us a pattern repeated? To those scribes and Pharisees like Draco of Athens, strict law had become more important than the great commandment. Luke wrote how they were so blinded by the law that they couldn't see the Christ. After seeing him eat corn in the fields and heal a withered hand on the Sabbath, they were so filled with madness and communed what they might do to Jesus because he had healed on the Sabbath day. Twice they brought complaint that he had broken the law. For a time, the Christian world heard his message, but how long before it changed his laws and words to suit its purposes? A prophet comes along to renew his truth. And how soon is he hated? How soon do even those who believed the prophets turn from them because they did not want to change? Remember Timothy's warning that a time would come when they would not endure sound doctrine, but after their lustful desires choose teachers to tickle their ears, such that the truth would be turned into fables. Could not this be such a time? The whole years of the Lord Protector, I did not celebrate Christmas as before. These were not years of joy. Instead of a time to selflessly serve, men were selfish and severe. Instead of joy and rejoicing in the glad tidings of the birth of a deliverer, laws made slaves of men. King and Parliament both guilty of robbing their countrymen of their rights and property. Men who supposedly waged wars to fight for rights and freedom to worship were no different from those who traveled to the New World, seeking freedom to worship as they pleased. Those who failed to attend Sunday worship were placed in the stocks. No one had the freedom to truly worship as they felt the Spirit dictate to them. The residents of this world have not learned the lesson that changing someone's perspective begins with gaining their heart. Shorn ears and branded cheeks did not change William Penn's point of view. Force and war never changed hearts. Love changes hearts, and changed hearts change behavior. To teach people to recognize truth and have changed hearts, it must be demonstrated in the lives of leaders and teachers. A governing body that rules for glory, gain, and governing power will always be at war. So, to the question that has so long plagued us, whose right is it to govern, this body or the king? I say it matters not who rules, but how they rule. You can rule by force or by the rule of true Christmas. Of the 3 levels of Christmas, the first 2 do not constitute true Christmas, for Christmas is not the base things, the reveling and lewdness your laws were intended to eliminate. Neither is it all carols and pudding and tingling feelings of familiar gatherings. As wonderful as they may be, they only constitute the second level. The world will never know the peace on earth that Christmas represents until we obtain a higher level. This level is only achieved by hearts that have gone through a refining process in the heat of opposition, where swords of pride and selfishness are laid down, and the shield of the great commandment to love one another every day of the year covers and protects the whole